Hey guys, welcome back. It is Side Hustle Thursday. Rules for Rebels back here today with episode 6 of Side Hustling. Today's story is going to be about a woman who turned a hobby project into a successful business. It's about a single mother who made over $15,000 in a very short period of time by creating a handmade good, an astrology calendar, and selling it on Etsy. Now, what I like about today's business is it's a handmade good. This woman is making something herself, meaning that there's nothing else like it on the market. It's utilizing a hobby that she enjoys doing, and typically the margins with this type of business are pretty good. Now, when it comes to businesses, I think we all need to decide if we want to be the next Mark Zuckerberg and take over the world, and if we're ready for that type of time commitment and energy commitment, or maybe you enjoy your life and you're just looking to make a little bit of extra money and bring in a little more extra money with a side hustle. I notice a lot of times people's actions don't match their ambitions, and there's nothing wrong with just a plain old side hustle. So before you start a business, figure out exactly what you want. What I love about side hustles are they give you freedom and opportunity. Unlike a job, a side hustle is yours and yours alone, meaning you can do it however you like. Also, the earning potential of a side hustle is untapped, unlike a job. Now, today's story is going to be about Julie Wilder from Florida. Prior to starting this side hustle, Julie ran an organic restaurant for a number of years. She enjoyed it, but it was long hours and a lot of work. Now, even while running the restaurant, as kind of a side project just to blow off steam, Julie would make astrology calendars, and every year she would update these calendars. She never thought of it as a business, she never sold them, it was just something she did on her own for fun. Now, one day she heard about Etsy, and a short time later, just kind of out of the blue, she decided to try to sell her calendar on Etsy. People seemed to like it, there wasn't really anything else like it on the market. She decided to dive in a little bit deeper, invest a bit more time and effort into the marketing of these calendars, and within a pretty short period of time, Julie had made over $5,000. Now, the money continued to roll in, and it wasn't long before she made another $2,000. Now, this is very low effort. She makes a calendar once per year, and then she can continue to sell that calendar for the rest of the year until the following year when she updates it, tweaks the design a bit, and rolls out the following year's calendar. Now, about her product and her niche, there's two things that are good about astrology. Now, I don't know a ton about astrology, but I know that a lot of people are interested in it, which is a good thing. It's also something which stirs up some strong opinions. It seems like people who are into it, and people who aren't kind of think it's hooey or nonsense. But this is actually a good thing, as strong opinions or a controversial topic are good. You really don't want to enter a niche or enter a space where just nobody cares. Because if nobody cares, nobody's going to buy, nobody's going to care about what you're doing. Now, another interesting thing is I would expect there to be a lot of astrology calendars out there on the market. And this story is from a few years ago, so it's possible that now today with Etsy and Shopify and things there are. But at the time, Julie started this a couple years back, and at the time there were only 3 to 4 major calendars on the market, and they were all pretty much the same and all had a very new agey design. Now, many people like that, but it's not for everyone. Where Julie came in and why she was successful, her calendars were different. They were not new agey, they were more of a modern design and had a unisex design. And because of that, they would appeal to everybody, and that's what really wound up separating her calendar from the rest of them. Now, as for the marketing, Julie just didn't throw up a listing on Etsy. She made some video tutorials on the calendar, how to use the calendar, etc. What is that, guys? That's content marketing. We talk about that a lot. It's very effective. Not only did she do that, but she made some videos, she made some blog posts, she shared her blog posts and videos on some Facebook groups. Basically, very few costs involved in marketing this calendar. Now, this calendar cost Julie $1 to produce, and she sells it all day for $15 on Etsy and other platforms. Pretty good margins, actually fantastic margins, and it's a lot easier than running a restaurant. Julie says she puts about a week into the design at the beginning of the year, and the rest of the year is just a little bit of work marketing and order fulfillment. She sometimes works with her young daughter who helps her, which is pretty cool. She gets to expose her daughter to entrepreneurship and also spend time with her doing something she enjoys, and that's pretty cool, right? So she took a passion project and found a way to make money off it. She did something different than what others were doing, and that's why it succeeded. And that's what I want you guys to do. If Julie had just copied everybody else's astrology calendar, the project wouldn't have gone anywhere. It's because she put her own twist on it. That's the reason it was successful, and that's what I encourage you guys to do. If I give you an idea, a business idea, a product idea, don't just copy it. Put your own twist on it. That's what's going to make you successful. This is kind of a unique business, so it's not something like affiliate marketing like Max's story the other week where I can just give you an example of how you can start this business on your own. However, I do have a couple similar examples which may spark an idea within you. The first is a project I started a couple years ago. I've talked about this a lot before. When storage auctions became saturated and I couldn't make any money off of them, I decided to find a way to make some money off all these newbies running into this industry. So I started a blog about storage auctions. I would also post lists of storage auctions as well as sell lists of storage auctions to newbies who didn't know where to find out about them. My project wasn't creative so much as it was practical, but it was similar to Julie's in the sense that at the beginning of the month, I would scour the internet, finding all the auctions, repost them with an auto-scheduling tool, and sell those lists. And literally after, a day or two of scouring and getting all the auctions together, I would just skate for the rest of the month. There was nothing else to do until the next month came around when I needed to come up with another list of auctions. But it was literally 1 or 2 days of work, and the rest of the month was passive. It cost me nearly nothing in money or effort. Now, one thing I want to add about this handmade good category, not always do they make a good business. And I'll give you guys an example. My girlfriend's mom, for example, crochets really nice blankets and hats. The problem, however, is that you can buy a cheap blanket made in China. The amount of time as well as the cost of yarn for her probably wouldn't make it feasible to sell these as a business. You probably have to sell them for 80 or $100 to really make it worth your time. Another example is down in South Carolina by my parents' house. They're famous for these sweetgrass baskets. They're very nice baskets, but even a small little basket can cost upwards of $160, $180, even $200 because of how much time it takes to make them. What's nice about Julie's business is while she designed, drew, and created the original calendar, obviously what she was selling was reprints, which allowed her to scale this. Had she had to individually draw every calendar, this would not be feasible or profitable. One last example, this one comes from the book The $100 Startup. It's been a while, so I'm a little sketchy on the details, but here's basically the story. A group of friends wanted to create a map for themselves or their city. They wanted to create an interesting kind of old school, sort of like Lord of the Rings / pirate map, something more artsy than just a road map. They designed it themselves. They were both artsy. I think one of them had some schooling in design. They created their map, and they wanted to get a couple copies printed, not to sell, not for a business, just for themselves. Unfortunately, the printer that they worked with would only print a minimum of 10 maps, and they only needed 3. Whatever, they bought the 10 maps. The 3 of them who designed it took the 3 maps. They gave another 2 or 3 maps away to some friends, and the friends not only loved the maps, but a lot of their friends were asking about the maps, and it turned out that everybody really loved these maps. Now, a couple of their other friends asked if they could buy a copy. They wound up selling out of their 10 maps. They realized that they may be onto something and had more printed, and those sold as well. Basically, this turned into a business where they would make these old school type, kind of treasure maps or more artsy maps of various cities, locations, etc. And it actually wound up turning into a very successful design business. Anyhow, guys, I hope these stories maybe stir up some ideas within you and maybe inspire some ideas of your own. Until next time, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you have anything to add or any discussion that you want to start, drop a comment in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you next time.